You're listening to a New York Jets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, Jets fans! Welcome to another New York Jets recap here on the Jacob Valk Show. I am the Jacob Valk, and you're not. This is what I was screaming for. Progress, competence, good football. It didn't need to be a win. Obviously, the win is nice, but all I wanted to see in this game was a step in the right direction. I didn't think I would see it, especially after that first half, where the Jets' offense looked anemic again. But then the Jets made some excellent second-half adjustments. They let Zach Wilson cook. They were getting nothing on the ground. Michael Carter, yes, he had his first rushing touchdown. Good for him. Give him credit. But he finished with less than 3 yards per carry. Tevin Coleman only had 4 carries for 14 yards. Ty Johnson had 3 carries for 1 yard. If the Jets were going to get anything going in this game, it had to be because of the right arm of Zach Wilson. And you know what? He stepped up. He made throws that are very difficult to make. He had a couple big throws to Keelan Cole, a couple big throws to Jamison Crowder, obviously the big touchdown pass to Corey Davis, making up for saddling Wilson with another interception. That pick was not his fault. Not in the slightest. Corey Davis just slipped. Davis was supposed to be in that spot where Wilson threw the ball. It's a timing play, it's a design play, it's a set play, it's a play that's practiced, and Davis just slipped. But give Davis credit for stepping up and catching the big touchdown pass. That gave the Jets the lead. Make no mistake about it. This is Zach Wilson's best game as a Jet. You want to tell me that's not a great thing because Wilson didn't look good in the first half? Baby steps. Okay, Mike LaFleur may not be the best game planner in the world, but I'll say this, he can make halftime adjustments. He did it against the Panthers. The Jets were close to winning that game, and he did it here. The Jets won because of that. And I've got to give credit to the offensive line for giving Wilson time to set his feet, to roll out whatever he needed to do to make those big-time throws. He was only sacked once. It was a masterful job by everyone on the O-line. The Titans' defense, I thought, was abysmal. I mean, I really didn't think the Titans had a good game. I mean, in the first half, you had some big opportunities to put up touchdowns. And you didn't. You had 1st and 10 at the Jets' 19. You had to settle for a field goal. You had 3rd and 1 at the Jets' 11. The snap went right through Tannehill's hands. You have to settle for a field goal again. In the ensuing drive, Wilson throws the pick. So you start off with great field position. You're at the Jets' 32. Nathan Shepard commits the boneheaded roughing the passer penalty. 1st and 10 at the Jets' 14. And the drive stalls. Those are 3 big moments where realistically it could have been 21-0. Instead, it was 9-0. The Jets' defense in this game was outstanding. I mean, let me tell you, from an eye test perspective, and maybe I'm looking at this with green and white colored glasses, but this Jets defense, just based off the eye test, looks like one of the best defenses in the NFL. They played really well against the Panthers. They allowed the one big play to Robbie Anderson. That was it. They played really well against the Patriots. Mac Jones threw for under 200 yards. They played well against the Broncos. They couldn't get anything going with Teddy Bridgewater and the passing game. And that performance yesterday? Unreal. An absolutely unreal performance by Robert Saleh's and Jeff Ulbricht's defense. Let me tell you, Jeff Ulbricht may get a couple head coaching interviews next cycle. I mean, Ryan Tannehill was sacked 7 times. Michael Carter and Bryce Hall have been excellent. Quincy Williams has looked really good. The Jets' D-line looks insane. These are no-name guys. Like, the casual NFL fan doesn't know who Bryce Hall is. He doesn't know who Michael Carter is. He doesn't know who Quincy Williams is. He doesn't know who Foley Fatukasi is. And he probably doesn't know who John Franklin Myers is. Give Saleh and Ulbricht a ton of credit for putting in place a system that these kids can thrive in. The one negative I would say would be the performance of Derrick Henry. I've resigned myself to the fact that the Jets aren't going to have a good running game again. That is something that they're going to need to address. I'm not saying you go out and you sign a big running back in free agency. No, I still have Le'Veon Bell PTSD. But maybe in the draft, you spend an early pick on a running back? I don't know who that would be. I don't know who's eligible and who isn't in terms of their draft status. But I've resigned myself to the fact that the Jets aren't going to have a good running game this year. The one thing I would say is, you know that the Titans' game plan is going to be very Derrick Henry-centric. If every Tennessee Titan on the offensive side of the football was healthy, the Titans' game plan would be incredibly Henry-centric. But when you factor in the fact that the Titans were without Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, you know that Henry is going to be the focal point of the Titans' offense. and he carried the ball 33 times. On those 33 carries, he had 157 yards and a touchdown. I understand that Derrick Henry is arguably the best running back in the NFL. Some people would say McCaffrey, but you know what? McCaffrey needs to stay healthy. Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry, it's close. Some people would say Henry, some people would say Cook. Derrick Henry or Alvin Kamara. Boy, talk about two different running backs. You've got a power back going up against an elusive back. Henry's not a good pass catcher. Kamara is one of the best pass catching running backs in the NFL. It's tough to compare the two. I understand that Derrick Henry is elite. No question about that. When all is said and done, we can make a very strong argument for Derrick Henry to be a Hall of Famer. I could see us doing that down the line. But you know that the Titans are going to run the ball incessantly. How do you not load up the box, send everyone, and try to stop him? You know how you bring down Derrick Henry? I'll tell you how you do it. You gang tackle. You see Henry running up the gut, everyone swarm towards the middle. You see Henry running right, everyone go right. You see Henry running left, everyone go left. You've got a gang tackle. I understand that it's easier said than done. Believe me, I wouldn't want to be a linebacker trying to bring down Derrick Henry. I don't care if I have some of my teammates helping me out. I don't want to get run over by him. Again, easier said than done, no question. But it's a very simple game plan. I didn't see that a lot with the Jets. I didn't see them sending a ton of run blitzes. I didn't think the defensive line was great in terms of stuffing the run. They were great at getting after Tannehill, but in terms of slowing down Henry, I didn't think they did a great job. Again, easier said than done, but not for nothing, the Jets have a really good D-line. And overall, I thought they played really well yesterday. 7 sacks. But if you could have slowed down Henry even a little bit, the game doesn't go into overtime. Fat Randy Bullock doesn't have a chance to tie the game in overtime. I saw some people getting on Bullock after the game. That's a tough field goal try from 49 yards out. It's one that an NFL kicker should be expected to make. There's no question about that. But maybe the Titans are able to get the ball a little bit closer. Maybe they don't take a delay of game on 3rd and 5. Maybe they make it an easier kick for Bullock. Maybe the Titans are able to score more than 9 points in the first half. Again, you have these golden opportunities to put touchdowns on the board. You could have been up 21-0. Don't get on Fat Randy. So all in all, this was a really good performance by the Jets. Yes, you would have liked them to have been better in the first half. But they did stuff the Titans on 3 red zone trips. The Jets did turn it on in the second half. Zach Wilson showed off his crazy arm talent that made him the 2nd overall pick. To all those people who were criticizing Wilson, after getting shut out by the Broncos. Look, I didn't like what I saw in that game either, but I wasn't ready to give up on him. I mean, this kid's really good. He has a ton of talent. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if we're doing the NFL draft over and we put the 5 quarterbacks back in the hopper, Trevor Lawrence, Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Jones, I don't think Lawrence goes 1. You can't tell me that in the first 4 games of their careers that Trevor Lawrence has looked better than Zach Wilson. Maybe, just maybe, 30 years from now, when we're looking back at this past draft, we'll say that the Jets got the best quarterback. Would that really stun you? Based on everything you've seen? Because it wouldn't stun me. And one other thing. Here's a nice anecdote for you. The Jets got their first win of the season on October 3rd. Last year. The Jets didn't get their first win of the season until December 20th. After that Broncos loss and after that Dolphins loss in October, there was a real sense that the Jets could go winless. Now, it's impossible. The Jets won't join the ranks of the 17 Browns, the 08 Lions, and the 76 Buccaneers. All I wanted was progress, and I saw that yesterday. Next week, make sure you get a good night's sleep. I don't know what time the last baseball game will be over on October 9th. But make sure you get to bed like right after the last out is made. Because the Jets' next game will be in London. They will travel to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to face the Atlanta Falcons, the designated home team for this matchup, and that game will start at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. London time. So make sure you're rested for the game. Look at it this way. You can sleep through the 1 o'clock games. There really aren't any great 1 o'clock games anyway. Packers-Bengals is good, but not great. Eagles-Panthers, no. You'll be able to catch up on your sleep then. You will get a Jets Instant recap right after the London game. New York Yankees show comes your way tonight. My last Yankees show of the year until my off-season preview. God only knows when that will be. I'll say this, if they lose tomorrow, it'll be on Friday. If they advance to the ALDS, it's up in the air. Regular episodes of the Jacob Valk Show come your way every weekday afternoon. And yes, I mean that. I will be giving you 5 shows this week. I am not going to Boston. It just didn't work out. I wish it had. Would have loved to have gone, but you know what? I didn't give you a show on Thursday last week, so It's good that I'm giving you 5 shows this week. Technically 7 or 8 if you count the Jets and Yankees shows. Until next time, I'm Jacob Valk, and always remember, if you disagree with me, you're wrong.